Yo! Howdy, gamers. This stream was pushed back like so many times, I'm not gonna lie. I was supposed to stream this ZZ 1.7 like story, I think like last not last, but like this past like I think past Wednesday. No. Actually no, yeah, I think Wednesday, right? Because that's when ZZC 1.7 came out, right? Well, it came out Tuesday night. So I was gonna stream. Actually, I don't know. I don't even remember the timeline of events. When did this fucking update come out? Let me look at my VODs. 4 days ago. Okay, so that was Wednesday, right? Oh no, you know what? It was actually wait. Didn't it come out? Oh no, you know what? No, it's right. It's right. The update came out Tuesday night. I streamed Tuesday night for like 3 hours. And then I was going to stream the story the next day in like the afternoon slash like morning-ish. Uh, but then I ended up sleeping in. And then it kind of just, the same thing kept happening. I just kept waking up way too late. And then I just kept pushing the stream back. But hey, we're here today. All right. I'm a little bit late again. Not that I'm following a schedule yet, but you know, I'm here. I need to do this first in VTube Studio. Oh, that's the old look. Where's my fucking... Hello? Is it F5? It was F5. Okay. Alright. Man, there's been a lot of stuff happening lately. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. Nintendo Switch 2 was, available for pre-order. Was it Wednesday? Oh, that was another reason why I didn't end up streaming. Cause like, okay, I was gonna stream Wednesday afternoon or morning to afternoon. That didn't happen. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll stream at night. But then I remembered that the Switch 2 pre-orders go live at night for me at 9 p.m. PST. So I ended up spending like, I think like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours almost just trying to pre-order this fucking system. I actually had a lot of difficulty this time around. And it's funny too, because like I was pretty on like I felt like I was pretty on top of that shit, you know? I always have Wario64 on, tweet notifs, so I always know when something's like right there, then and there, just live, ready to go. But like even with that, like I still was having trouble getting a system or like getting a pre-order in. I was trying. I tried like fucking. I had literally every single site that was available open. I had. Okay, actually, listen. This is what happened was I think the first listing that came on was Target. Then the second listing that came up was Walmart, and then the third listing that came up was Best Buy. And I was going to order from Best Buy. So I was kind of just waiting for the Best Buy like listing to go up, which I think in hindsight was actually a bad idea. I should have just whatever site was the first one, just fucking go. I mean, that's what I did with the PS5 when PS5 pre-orders went live. When PS5 pre-orders went live, I was out playing volleyball, and then when I think we like finished a game and we were just like sitting down and just like getting a little bit of a break before the next match, I was literally just checking my tweet notifs, and I see Wario is tweeting about like the PS5 pre-orders going live, and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, I ended up getting a PS5 pre-order, like so easily. But yeah. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I should have just went for the first site that was live. I should just went to Target and just pre-ordered it right then and there. But I wanted to do Best Buy because of those 3 websites, Best Buy is the one that I have the most experience with in terms of ordering something like online and it being shipped to me. I guess I did get my PS5 from Target, and they also I can't speak English. I did get the PS5 like on the day of release when that came out, so maybe I should have just trusted Target. Although Target eventually was like pooping out real bad. Like you could add the console to your cart and even go to checkout, but when you try to finish the order, it would just not do anything. It would just say like error or whatever, and like it just kept fucking up. But I mean, all the websites were fucking pooping out, to be completely honest. Best Buy had a line, it had a queue. I was in that queue for like what felt like 2 hours or an hour and a half. I even went in line on my phone just to see if I could get in on a mobile device. Long story short, both fucking queues that I was in ended up pooping out, and the console ended up selling out on both ends. The worst part was that the Best Buy listing, or like when I first queued on for Best Buy, right? I was already, or like I was in line in queue like pretty freaking fast. Like as soon as the Best Buy pre-orders went live, I was already in queue. And then I was in that line for a long ass time. And then my page finally refreshed, and you know what happened? It refreshed into my cart that had nothing in it. So I was like, what the fuck? So I had to re-enter the line, and then at that point, that's when I also entered the line on my phone. But yeah, that didn't end up fucking working out. So both the queues on my computer and on my phone just ended up shitting themselves eventually. But before they shit themselves, I was able to get a pre-order in at not Best Buy, lol, at Walmart. And it's funny because I brute forced the fuck out of that thing. You could see the pre-order button on Walmart for the Switch 2, but when you try adding it, it'll say like, oh, this item is in high demand, something, it won't be able to be added to your cart or whatever, because it's, you know, there's too many people trying to add it to their cart and stuff. I just kept pressing the fuck out of that button until it finally let me add it to my cart, and it actually worked. So that was like step 1. Then step 2 was getting through checkout. And the thing is, it would let you complete checkout, but sometimes when you click like, you know, complete purchase or whatever, it would say like this item is out of stock. So then it would take you back to your cart. It would stay in your cart, and then you would have to repeat the process again of like going through checkout, and then if it poops out, you just do it over again and blah blah blah. I kept doing that over and over and over again, and then sometimes it would actually remove it from your cart, or like you would have to remove it because it would say the same shit like, oh yeah, this item's out of stock. So then you would have to go back to step 1, where you have to spam the fucking pre-order button to put it in your cart, and then you repeat step 2 to get through checkout, blah 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 blah. I had to keep doing that over and over again until it finally let me get an order in. And I know this order isn't like fake or like it wasn't a ruse, because I haven't gotten a cancellation email yet, and I don't think I will. Because it's still it's still there, excuse me. My order is still there in my Walmart account. I would show it, but I don't know how much this website shows in terms of like docs information. So yeah, it still says my order's there. It says pre-order arrives by June 5th. So I think I'm safe. I think my order is like, we're good to go. That shit will be here sometime by June 5th. And I will probably stream myself unboxing it and blah, blah, blah. And unboxing it, playing Mario Kart World, probably. I will also probably check out, because I imagine I will probably end up subscribing to the Nintendo Online expansion pass, blah, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember. The big version, the one that gives you access to like more goodies and other stuff. We'll do that, and then I would definitely like to check out how Breath of the Wild and what is the other game? Tears of the Kingdom? How they end up looking. I mean, we know how they're gonna run. They're gonna run at 60 FPS, but like, you know, I want to see it for myself. It's funny because I've already, again, I've mentioned this before. I've already played Breath of the Wild through CMU. So I played the Wii U version at 60 FPS through emulation, but I want to see what the Switch 2 can do. So we'll take the time. We'll fucking deconstruct, reconstruct the system, blah blah blah. And by that I don't mean take it apart, but you know what I mean. We'll see what the Switch offers, and we'll check out the hardware and all that stuff by June 5th. And honestly, I'm actually a little bit more excited than I thought I'd be. I always wanted a better Switch. This, like, it's what I wanted. I wanted the next console to be... Well, okay. There's a little caveat here. I wanted the next Nintendo console to be a Switch, like a better Switch. A Switch, better hardware. But I was expecting Nintendo to also give a little bit more of a gimmick spin. And to be honest, the only real gimmick or gimmicks that this system has, excuse me, is like the Joy-Con mouse mode, and then also like the chat feature with the camera and all that stuff, which, by the way, is locked behind Nintendo Online, which I think is completely stupid. But whatever, I don't really care. I'm like probably never going to use that feature, so I do not care about it. But yeah, I'm actually more excited than I thought I'd be, and I think I even debated whether or not I wanted to switch to, because, you know, it's just another Switch, but like, it's going to be my Metroid console. Just how others were saying, like, the... Oh, you know what? I could pull up my tweet about it. Just like many people when they were like, or when they were saying that the PS5 Pro is their like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth console. The Switch 2 is my Metroid console. I'm literally getting it just to play Metroid Prime 4 at like either 4K 60 or 1080p 120. Let me see. I think I could just put this on the stream. Well, actually, let me get rid of this before. Actually, hold on. Let me check my email one more time. This is a completely different topic, but the Marathon Alpha is going on right now, and I have not gotten an invite, sadly. I'm not super excited to play that game, but I just want to try it, you know? I want to give it a fair shot. They did say there will be more opportunities to play Marathon before September, so I think I'll probably get a better shot then. Because by then, it'll probably be in beta, right? But, yeah. Let me check the Bungie site. This song's kind of tight. Okay. Yeah, still don't have a code for marathon, but whatever. Okay. Hi. Yeah, so here's my tweet. It's oh yeah, that's also right. I was bitching about like not being able to get a pre-order in, and then I like literally a minute later, Walmart let me through and actually gave me a fucking order. So yeah. I don't know. It's like I hate to say it, like I know Nintendo is not like the greatest company, but I like their games and I like their products. But some of their business practices, some of their like what is it? Not PR, but like they're like the corporate side of like Nintendo is like yeah, fuck that. I'm here for the games and I'm here for the console itself. That's pretty much it. Mario Kart being $80 is just what the fuck. Like, and honestly, if Mario Kart like wasn't $80 or didn't have like a bundle, I would just get the Switch by itself. Like I might like end up buying Mario Kart later down the line, but because it's $80, just getting the Mario Kart bundle is just the cheaper way to go. Even though, you know, the Switch One, this was also I had to pay like I think it was like $40 something in tax, which is insane. So this 500 is actually went up to like 540 something. So assuming that the Switch like the normal or the normal just the console itself, that being at 450 plus the tax is you're gonna end up spending 500. So regardless, it's expensive, but I'm one of the people that I don't mind the price of the Switch 2. I think it's at I honestly think it would have been fucking awesome if it was at 400. But alas, it's at 450. And then 500 if you buy the Mario Kart bundle. But I think 400 to 450 is like I think that's about as high as I would pay for a Switch or like a new Nintendo console. And like, yes, I spent $550 on the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle, but that's only because the Switch 2 and the Mario Kart bundle is technically cheaper instead of buying a Switch 2 and then also Mario Kart, because Mario Kart is, for whatever reason, $80. So, yeah. I mean, the PS5 at launch, may I remind you, the PS5 at launch was $400 or $499.99. That was also a $500 console. So, you know. Oh, and another driving force behind me actually getting a Switch 2 is because I'm afraid that it will end up going up in price because of the tariffs. That's like one of the biggest driving factors as to why I would rather get a Switch 2 now than later. Because if that shit does go up in price, who knows how much it's gonna cost? It might end up being like $600. I don't know. I'm not even sure how Nintendo was able to keep the Switch 2 at $450. Because some of the other like Switch 2 accessories went up a couple dollars, like $5, $10. But the Switch 2 itself, and even the Switch 2, Mario Kart bundle, still stayed at the same price. But who knows? That might change in like, after launch, and like, I think the PS5s have been going up in price too, right? Yeah, okay, so PS5 price to rise in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. So while this doesn't affect me because I'm in America, obviously, but like this is still like very concerning because you know, yeah, who knows how much the Switch 2 will cost. So I would rather get it now than later. But yeah, I digress. I like Nintendo for their games and their hardware. I can't lie. Like even thinking back, like the first like exposure. Actually, I guess that's a lie. The first console exposure I had was like the PlayStation 1. Or actually, what came out first? N64 or PlayStation 1? Or was that the same generation? I had a classic PS1 too, not the like the slim version. So this North America September 9th, 1995. When did N64 come out? N64 release date. North America on September 29th, 1996. A whole year later. Okay. So the thing is, I have no idea when we even got those consoles when we were kids. I don't even know who asked for them. Was it my brother? Did my dad want it? I don't. My dad was very, very casual in terms of like gaming. Even my mom. My dad, like, oh no, you know what? It might have been my dad actually, because my dad was the one that was a fan of Tomb Raider. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, my dad was a very casual gamer, and he was a fan of Tomb Raider. So I'm going to assume I should just ask him honestly. I'd just be like, "You remember who bought the PlayStation 1?" Like, or like who wanted it? Was it you or my brother? But I think I'm just going to assume that my dad bought it for himself, or like his excuse maybe was to buy it for my brother and I. Uh, but then uh, maybe that was his excuse, and then it was actually for himself to play Tomb Raider. But either way, the first two consoles I was ever exposed to was PlayStation 1 and N64, which kind of dates my age, but whatever, don't pay attention to that. Yeah, actually, where was it? Oh, I was like, where am I going with this? Basically, what I'm trying to say is like, since I've been like a gamer, like both PlayStation and Nintendo have always been like the two like brands that I've always like come to play my games on. I've played stuff on Xbox. I've even borrowed an Xbox. I like some Xbox exclusives, even though these days that's not really a thing. um, but ultimately, I've always been I don't even want to say play on team PlayStation and Nintendo because I've always been someone that just like the console war has always been something that I never ever took part in. I always thought that was stupid. But I've always been a PlayStation and Nintendo kid. And I think over the years it's more so Nintendo forward cuz I love Zelda, I love Metroid. Um and I guess even now like to an extent, or I guess because it is a Switch exclusive, or not Switch exclusive, but Nintendo owned game IP. Xenoblade, fucking love Xenoblade. I always forget that's technically a Nintendo game. What else is a Nintendo game that I really like? Smash. Um, I think I'm not a huge Mario head. My mom was she actually did play Mario on the GBA, but that was about the most gaming she ever did, I think. Let's look. I think I used to be a Pokemon kid, but that was years ago. I'm not really into Pokemon that much anymore. If at all. Oh, I really like Splatoon. I think Splatoon is a good Nintendo IP, especially for like a new one. They really hit it out of the ballpark with that one. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm mostly like a Metroid kid and a Zelda kid. Is this supposed to be like a major Nintendo franchises thing? Dang, so they consider Xenoblade a major uh Nintendo franchise? Dang. Yeah, I don't really know what other like it's pretty much just Metroid and Zelda for me. I always forget the Astral Chain. Where is it? The Astral Chain is a like this is a Switch game only. I should replay that game at some point. I never beat it, and it's been so long. Yeah, I don't really know what else. Like, I'm a big fan of Ring Fit. Hey, Ring Fit's cool. I think it's a good idea, right? It's a shame that it doesn't work on Switch 1. I mean, Switch 2. And I think they said that the only reason why it doesn't work on Switch 2 is because the Switch 2 Joy-Cons don't fit in like the attachments. You could probably still play it on Switch 2 though, I think. Because if you go to Nintendo's like compatibility, like if you go here, switch to accessories compatibility. Excuse me. If you go here and check what's compatible with the Switch 2, the old Joy-Cons are compatible. Like you can pair them wirelessly to the Switch. So I'm assuming that like you technically can play Ring Fit on Switch 2, but you just can't use the Joy-Con 2s. Let me see. Nintendo's Switch 2 game compatibility. Yeah, what did they say on this? Games that require, yeah, finally things can join that require to Switch 2. If you have Nintendo Joy-Con controllers and connect the wireless, you can't play these games. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, literally right here. If you have Joy-Cons, you can connect them to Switch 2. Then you can just play these games as you would normally. But you can't play them with the Joy-Con 2 controllers. Which makes sense, because a lot of these games require like an IR sensor, or they attach in a way that the Joy-Con 2s don't attach. Yada yada yada. But yeah. Also, I'm not going to lie, if I already didn't own a Pro controller, I would have probably grabbed a Switch 2 Pro controller, mainly for the audio jack, because this Pro controller does not have an audio jack. It has and it also doesn't have like the back pedals, but I could care less about those, to be honest. It's mainly for the audio jack. The audio jack is like the one thing that's like I can't believe it wasn't on this controller in the first place. But since the original Switch Pro controller is compatible with Switch 2, I'm probably not going to get a Switch 2 Pro controller until my Pro controller like either dies or breaks or whatever, I don't know. But I've kept it in pretty good condition and it still works. So I will probably refrain from buying a Pro Controller 2. Not only that, but the Pro Controller 2 does not, like, it's pretty much an identical controller besides the headphone jack and the back paddles, and that's like it. Everything else is like the exact same, but it's like a tad bit more expensive. Actually, I say a tad, but that's only because I have the Smash Ultimate Pro Controller, which costed a little more just because of it's like a special edition. The base Nintendo Pro Controller was like what, $60 to $70, right? The new one, because of tariffs, is like almost $100, which is crazy. That's crazy. I think, and yeah, the Switch 2 Joy-Cons are also. In fact, let's take a look at this. I'm already knee deep talking about this fucking console. Let's just go and check. I saw a post about this that compared like the prices. Let's see. Trying to see if I could find it. I low-key regret forgetting to sign up for the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, because Metroid Prime was actually there. I could have played it, but, you know. Fuck, where is this post, man? I remember seeing it, but now I don't. Excuse me. Okay, I can't fucking find it. Let me try Googling it. Switch 2 accessories price comparisons. Ah, no, this comparison image sucks. Damn it! There was one that like someone made that was like a good one. It was like properly formatted and shit. Man. Well, either way. I don't even know why. Oh, because I wanted to see how much the Joy-Con 2 controllers are. I guess I could just Google that on its own. Joy-Con 2 price. $94.99? Is that right? Jesus Christ. It's more expensive than the Pro Controller. What the hell? Yeesh. Remember when we thought the Joy-Con, like, ones were expensive? I mean, they are. Honestly, I think that's honestly the main... Well... I guess you can connect these to Switch 2, so if you wanted a cheaper controller... Or, like, if you wanted Joy-Cons, but you wanted it for cheaper, you could just buy the Joy-Cons and then just connect them that way. You just wouldn't be able to use the features in some of the other games, like the mouse mode and whatnot. But otherwise, you can use these as normal. But I think most people are gonna opt for the Pro controller because unless you're like a child, or you're someone like me who doesn't have like absolutely monstrous size hands. Like the Joy-Cons are really small. Like even in my hand they're small. They fit in within the size of my hand. Like that's how small they are as a controller. But yeah. I don't know. I think do we know like the Joy-Con 2 like size? Like the 4.5 inches tall, 0.56 inches wide, 1.2 inches thick. So 4.57 inches. So oh wow, that still fits within the size of my hand. But that is bigger. That is definitely bigger. I think a Joy-Con is like 3.5. Am I right about that? Joy-Con 1 size. Ugh. This is the... I want to look at the Joy-Con. Joy-Con controllers. Size 4.1 inches high, 6.8 inches long, 2.2 or 2.12 inches deep. So wait, why does that feel like it doesn't add up? 4.5 or 4.1 inches high? Let me look. You know what? Fuck it. I have a fucking Joy-Con right here. If I take a Joy-Con and I measure this shit. It's like just under... It's like 3.9. 3.9 something. So if... Okay, so then the Joy-Con 2 is, yeah, bigger. It will be bigger. I mean, we know that, but like... It's not that much bigger, but... Still... It'll be better for... where's the fucking power button? It'll be better for people with larger hands. And will probably fit my hands, like, perfectly. I think what I will do when the Switch 2, or like when the Switch 2 gets here, will definitely... I think I will play on the Joy-Cons for a majority of the time. Because I am curious how it feels, and I'm also curious how long the controller or like the Joy-Con 2s will last before they get drift. If they get drift. They don't have Hall effect sticks. However, we don't know how long or how short it might be until they start showing signs of drift, you know? I took care of my Joy-Cons pretty well, but all my Joy-Cons ended up, like, they all ended up getting fucking drift, like, eventually. All 4 of them. Excluding my Skyward Sword Edition, Switch, or Skyward Sword Edition Joy-Con controllers, because those I kept in the box. I mean, I opened it and, like, used them, or, like, I checked them out in my hand and stuff, but I did not, like, I didn't really use them to play games and stuff. Anyway, I think we should probably... I've been yapping for almost an hour. Just talking about the Switch 2. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to me that, you know, it's been... How many years since Switch 1? Like, almost 8? Because that console came out in 2017. Oh fuck, is this today? Uh-oh. I just got a text. Or, oh no. Uh-oh. I'm literally streaming. Oh no, I completely I mean, I didn't forget, but like... Shit. Okay, hold on, chat. Hold on. Okay, chat. Well, not an emergency, but basically, I forgot I was supposed to go out today with my friends. I actually forgot. Okay, but in my defense, I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was on a different weekend. I didn't know it was this weekend. Shit. So I will end here. Maybe I'll come back later tonight and we'll continue, but